Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Silvia Rizky.
My name is Nadya Irtani Putri.
My name is Shaheila Raihani.
And I'm Kharien Puspa Maharani. In this video, we are going to talk about the two English variations from the outer circle and from the expanding circle, which are Malaysian English and Korean English.
I will explain about definition and characteristic English variation in Malaysia, or commonly called Manglish. In the outer circles, Malaysian English has undergone a process of nativization or localization, where the structures, vocabulary, and pronunciation of English are influenced by the local language and culture. Malaysian English has distinctive features such as influence from the Malay language, unique pronunciation, as well as grammar that differ from standard English. Characteristic of Manglish. First, accent and intonation. Manglish accent is softer and more melodic, influenced by Malay. Second, use of words ending. Words like lah are often added at the end of a sentence to emphasize or soften a statement. Third, non-standard sentence structures. Sentences often don't follow standard English grammar. For example, you eat already, for kamu sudah makan. And the last, absorption for other language. A lot of vocabulary comes from Malay, Hokkien, Tamil, and other language, creating unique terms.
In Malaysia, there are two main variants of English. Use the following is information about the number of speakers for its variants. 1. Malaysia English. English, the second language commonly used in Malaysia, especially in large city and informal or professional context. On data from surveys and study, approximately 17 until 90% of the Malaysia population can commonly in English. 2. British English. There is no exact data on the number of speakers specific to British English, but it is safe to say that the majority of English speakers in Malaysia will as variants influenced by British English. Here are some examples of words, phrases, or sentences that describe both variants of English used in Malaysia, namely English Malaysia and British English. 1. English Malaysia. Frequently used words, phrases. Can you help me? These participles are used in everyday conversation as a form of amplification of affirmation, although they are not formal. 2. British English. Frequently used words, phrases. Take the elevator to the top floor. Overall, in everyday conversation, variation of Malaysia English tend to combine elements of both systems. but with local characteristics such as party cycles and strong Malaysia influence.
First, I will explain about the definitions. English has been a central language in various sectors of South Korean society for over a century, with historical events and context resulting in a glorification of the language as both as essentiality for success and an indicator of superiority and modernity. With English becoming omnipresent in recent times due to an increasing focus on globalization within Korean society, most families rigorously pursue English education to ensure optimal chances of employment. In turn, due to necessity for additional English education outside of school, such as expensive private educations, the divide between social classes in Korea has been continuously growing up to this day. Due to these existing inequalities and language ideologies, English is generally recognized as an indicator of social class in Korea. Despite the strong history of English in this country, however, Koreans' perception of English, whether they see it as a key for vertical social mobility and how they conceptualize English with respect to their self-image remain under research.
This study analyzes two nationally representative surveys conducted in China, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. The East Asian Social Survey conducted in 2008 and 2018, and Asia Barometer 2003 until 2008, and estimates their English-speaking population. The results indicate that English speakers, those who evaluated themselves as having a fair or high level of English proficiency, in South Korea are approximately 12%. The EPI is an annual report that ranks countries and regions based on the English proficiency of their adult citizens. The EPI is based on test results from the EF Standard English Test, which is an online test that measures reading and listening skills. In 2023, the EPI showed that South Korean women had a slightly higher English proficiency than men, and the capital city of Seoul had the highest EPI among South Korean cities. In addition, based on Statista.com, in 2023, South Korea ranked 49th in the English Proficiency Index, or EPI. This was a 13-point drop from the previous year. The information about this question is based on the research article titled East Asia and English Language Speakers, a Population Estimation Through Existing Random Sampling Surveys.
Next, I will explain about the characteristic of Konglish or Korean English. The first one is loanwords. Konglish includes English loanwords, Korean loanwords, and pseudo-English words. The second one is pronunciations. Konglish pronunciation can differ from standard English. Then, about the grammar, Konglish can deviate from standard English grammar and syntax. About the mistranslations, Konglish can include mistranslation from English to Korean. The next one is shortened words. Konglish words can be shortened versions of English words. Next is combined words. Konglish words can be combinations of other words too, so it's not only English but also other language. Then brand names. Konglish can include brand names, so the brand names that spelling in English usually will be transformed into Konglish versions. Next is different meanings. Konglish words can have different meanings than the original English words. There will be several examples of these words that will be explained by my friends in the next sections.
Here are the examples of Korean English. The first one we have chocolate, chocolate, or chocolate. From this first example, we can immediately recognize the characteristic of Korean English. So the system in Konglish itself is that they write an English word according to its pronouncement. However, there are some things that are not suitable or familiar in their language, so they have to add some elements. In this chocolate word, they changed the word that originally had 2 syllables into a word that has 3 syllables. The second, we have vitamin, or vitamin. In this second example, we can hear that the letter V is not being sounded. Instead, it is replaced with the letter B. This is because in Korean itself, they do not have the letter V, so they have to replace it with the letter B. Next, we have sandwich, or sandwich. This is the same as the previous one. The number of syllables in this word increases to 4. The next one is handphone, or handphone. Just like the letter V earlier, the letter F is also not available in Korean, so they have to replace it with the letter F. So the letter B is for the voiced letter V, and the letter P is for the voiceless letter F. The next one is selka, or selfie. Selka is actually a shortened version of self-camera or self-camera that refers to selfie. The next we have keyboard, or keyboard. In Korean, words that have endings other than T, R, or L are not common, so they have to add the element to pronounce them. The next one we have computer, or computer. This one is similar to the original one, but they just write it according to its pronouncement. The next one we have screen, or screen. They are also not used to pronouncing 3 consonant letters at once, so they have to separate them and add the element e. Next we have box, or box. This one is also similar to the original one. And then the last one we have cereal, or cereal. This one is also kind of similar to the original one. They just write it according to its pronouncement.
In this last sections, I will explain about our group opinion about the future of English variations. In our opinion, English variations in the future will be even more complex. These English variations are formed based on the use of English from the merging of 2 countries. For example, Indonesian Indian English or Korean Chinese English. This is very likely to happen with the increasing number of mixed marriages happening in the future, which will form families with a different background. This change of revolution in English variation is unavoidable, as English is still one of the most widely spoken languages. The possibility of these innovations becomes even stronger. With this widespread use, other varieties of English could be recognized by the mass public. And that's all from our group. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. See you next time.